Hello, my name is Edmond Jamna, and on behalf of DW Consult, I want to welcome you to Tutorials on the Go. Our zeal here is to help transition people with zero, struggling, or shaky base in accounting to an expert position and to a place of confidence. It is also a platform to assist in the smooth studying of the ACCA and ICA professional qualifications, as well as for any tertiary accounting discipline. All that is required of you is to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell as well to be part of the program. Tutorials on the Go, bringing accounting to heart. Now, to this episode's lecture. Changes in group structure, absolute disposal. And a couple of discussions to come. We are going to look at the situation where there are changes either upwards or downwards in the shareholding of the parent in the subsidiary. In this very lecture, we're going to look at the situation where the parent sells off its entire holding in the subsidiary. When that happens, it definitely loses control because an entity must have above 50% of the shares of another to make it a subsidiary. Once it sells everything off, it is zero. Okay. When the parent entity sells its entire shares in its subsidiary, it has to first calculate a group profit or loss on disposal of the subsidiary. Then the revenue and cost of the subsidiary must be consolidated to the point of disposal. Now we're going to take a look at how to calculate the group profit or loss on disposal. So for the workings, we'll start with the proceeds of sale, the amount the parent received for selling its entire shares. Then we add the amount of the non-controlling interest. Okay. Then we less the net asset at the time of disposal. Okay, so net asset is total asset less total liabilities as at the point of the parent selling off its shares. Then we less goodwill. That will give us a group profit or loss on disposal. Okay, so let's test our understanding. So Era, who owned 70% of the shares of Molly, decided to sell its entire holding on 31st December 2017 for $300 million. So the proceeds is mentioned here. The non-controlling interest at that date was $20 million. The goodwill on acquisition was $55 million, and the net assets at the date of disposal were $200 million. We have to calculate the group profit on disposal to appear in the group financial statement of Era Group for the year ended 31st December 2017. So for solution, we'll start with the proceeds, which was mentioned in the question as $300 million. We add the non-controlling interest, $20 million. We less the net assets at disposal, $200 million. Then we less goodwill, which is $55 million. It will lead to group profit on disposal for $65 million. Let's further test our understanding again. So Cindy Limited sold off all of her 95% holding in Lolly Limited on 30th June 2020 for $350 million. The non-controlling interest at that date was valued at $20 million. The net assets and goodwill of Lolly at 30th June 2020 were $300 million and $120 million respectively. We have to calculate the group profit on disposal to be presented in the group financial statement of Cindy Group for the year ended 31st December 2020. So for solution, when we follow the template, we first bring the proceed, which was $350 million. Then the non-controlling interest stated in the question as $20 million. We less net asset at disposal, $300 million. We further less goodwill, which was $120 million. Then it will bring us to a group loss on disposal of $50 million. Now, the revenue and cost of Lolly is to be consolidated only up to 30th June 2020. Okay. So you can visit our lecture on mid-year acquisition for the statement of profit or loss, the consolidated one, to know how to go about it. All too soon, we come to the end of this episode's lecture. I hope it went well. If you have any comment or feedback for us, do well to drop them in the comment section below. Whilst at that, kindly subscribe and turn on all notifications to stay abreast with our postings. Also, follow us on our various social media handles as captured on the screen. Join us on another episode of Tutorials on the Go. Until then, take care of yourself and stay blessed. Poker.